The following program contains sax and violins. Parental discretion is advised.
Medically
Live from Denver, Colorado, across the world, wide web.
128 kilobytes per second.
Cynical, intolerant Brian Hadley, and the fun-loving lover of fun, Jerry Lee McGuire. And now, from Live 365, it's Soundcheck, Denver music scene.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamblers, ramblers, to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
I win!
Are we on the air?
I'm Brian P. along with Jerry Lee, and we are broadcasting live from the Kitty Glitter Casino in Black Hawk, Colorado.
Dude, I just won another chip.
Yeah?
Yep. They taste great.
That's what I was just going to ask you. What kind of chip was it? So yeah, there you go.
This one was a blue one. It says kitty glitter on it. But
So
they taste great.
Are you faring well? Are you winning some money?
No, they just keep paying me in these chips, and I just keep eating them.
You're supposed to turn them in for cash, silly man.
Oh.
I'm going to have to teach you. Well, you know what? You're going to learn all about casinos throughout the program, so by the time the program is over, you will be sitting pretty.
That's awesome, because I can't even spell casino.
You can't?
No.
Let's hear you try.
C-A-S-I-O. Casio.
Close enough. Hey, we have a fine program for you this evening, Jerry Lee.
Yes, we do. You know, it's wall-to-wall fun for the next 2 hours.
Yes, sir. Our guest tonight, singer, songwriter, producer, among many other things. Brian Lewis is with us here in the studio tonight, or the casino, I should say. And we're going to be talking with him about his endeavors and accomplishments and things of that nature, as well as one project that he's particularly proud of, some work he did with a local Denver artist here by the name of Sharlena Thomas, and we're going to be talking with her as well later in the program, as well as, I say as well as that, don't I?
Well, yeah, you just did,
As well. And playing some of her music throughout the show. So it's going to be a fun show.
That's right. I'm sitting here in a sea of Brians. Brian's everywhere. Why, there's a Brian over there.
Can you elaborate on that?
I'm trying to wrap my Brian around this. Let me see.
I get it. Hey, how about we start it off with something from Sharlena Thomas?
Hey, why don't we do that?
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
This one is called Down the Road, and it's by Sharlena Thomas. And again, Brian Lewis is here. We'll be speaking with him and Sharlena Thomas. I didn't say as well. I made a point not to.
As well.
All right, more Soundcheck coming up after this. This is Down the Road from Sharlena Thomas.
You have a need that never ends, living inside your soul, starving with the eternity down the road, down the road, down the road. Down the road.
All right, that's Down the Road with Sharlena Thomas. She is the guest in the studio tonight. Well, a pseudo guest, I guess.
Sounding good.
The guest is Brian Lewis, and we'll be hearing from him very soon. What are you doing, Jerry Lee?
Well, I'm trying to keep this summer love happening for you. So let's spread the Love 45 with some burning love on Love 365.
The sound of loose slots.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
That's some burning love with Love 45 for your senses on Soundcheck.
Who wrote that?
Good.
Who wrote that, by the way?
No idea. Hey, keep sending us your stuff, Denver. We love plugging your gigs and playing your sound to the world. Yes, here's a new band on the scene, the Samuel Edgar Band. Dig this little song about a spider plant. You heard it here first on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Spider plant is doing okay. Most leaves are green, but some are brown, color gray. And he looks kinda handsome in the cool fluorescent light. Oh, ragged and straggled, but still worth the fight. And he's had little water for too many days, and not enough room in that planter I gave. Oh, his problems ignored in suffocating pot. Oh, my spider plant is more roots than top. And he's trying to live, but I have him caught and stopped. Oh, my spider plant needs more soil and a bigger pot. It took a little while to get him out. His roots were caught in compressed piles, and it took prying and cutting away, but eventually he was freed from the prison and the pain, and he's trying to live, but I have him caught and stopped. Oh, my spider plant needs more soil and a bigger pot. And blacktop soil, though the plant was introduced to his new home for a while. Until the next time he's too big for his pot, then I'll know right away that growth is what he wants, and he's trying to live, but I have him caught and stopped. Oh, my spider plant needs more soil and a bigger pot. My spider plant needs more soil and a bigger pot. My spider plant needs more soil and a bigger pot.
All right, the Samuel Edgar Band there with a little song called Spider Plant. I like that little song.
Not bad, not bad.
365. Jerry Lee and Brian P. with you here for these Wednesday night festivities.
Casino-style gambling in the United States has skyrocketed in the last 35 years, expanding from just 2 states, Nevada and New Jersey, to 40 states in 2014.
Far out.
You're listening to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene, and we will be right back.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Hey Denver, we are Arena Rock All-Stars, and we're melting faces on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Brian P. along with Jerry Lee, and like Arena Rock All-Stars said, this is Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. He has been a professional musician for 29 years as a sideman, studio session player, songwriter, and producer. He's performed on over 100 albums, produced 21 CDs for various artists, logged more than 3,000 concert dates, and over 14 years of steady touring. He's worked as music director for Street Sense recording artist Matt McKinney and Little Blue recording artist Sharlena Thomas. He's been teaching in Evergreen since 1989. Owns and operates Evergreen Guitar Dojo. I think that's how to pronounce it. We'll ask him in a minute. Because he's here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Brian Lewis. Brian, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, well, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. How was the traffic getting down to this casino?
Pretty dang bad.
Are you are you winning any money tonight?
You know, I'm not a gambler. I like to be in control. You know.
I understand.
Then you don't have to eat these chips. They're not very chewy, by the way.
So 29 years you've been a musician. All in this area, or where are you from? Are you from here? Or?
I was actually born in New York, upstate New York, but my dad worked for IBM. He said that used to stand for I've been moved. And so we spent a little time in Chicago, but basically I've been here, moved to Evergreen when I was 8 years old. So essentially I'm from here. You know, the big formative years were here.
All right.
What year did you guys move into Evergreen?
74.
74, okay.
It's changed a little bit since then, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. There was only one stoplight at that time, and
Wow.
now there's like 9.
There's one stoplight every corner.
In fact, the first bar I ever played was in Evergreen. It was a block or 2 down from the Little Bear. It was called Chippendales. It was in 1979. 79.
Chippendales. That sounds like isn't that like a male strip club or something?
I was like 16 and they thought I was 21.
Very good, very good. Did I pronounce Evergreen Guitar Dojo?
You did, yes.
Okay,
That
and
is
what
correct.
exactly, can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's just a teaching studio. It's me and 50 of my students seriously studying the guitar. So a dojo is a place of like serious studies from the martial arts world. So I wanted to evoke that idea of, serious students that are dedicated to the craft and going to put in the time, and that's what we do there.
So
and show us the dojo.
So it's you and 50 students?
I have 50 students a week, yeah.
Wow. So I take it that's your main job?
These days it is, yeah.
Okay,
I toured for a long time in the 90s and the early 2000s, and then in order to, my wife was wondering where I was all the time. I'd been on the road 300 days a year touring, and finally I gave that up about 12 years ago and decided to stay put. So I opened the teaching studio.
But you are still playing because, you know how I know? You were on our show about, 6 weeks ago, was it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been a little bit ago.
May 31st, to be exact.
Oh, very nice, Jerry Lee. You're hired.
I thought so.
Yeah, see, Arena Rock All-Stars. It is a 80s metal cover band. Great band, by the way. If you haven't been out to see them, check that out. How are you guys doing these days with the band? You still gigging regularly, or
Oh yeah, we just actually played Saturday night at our hometown venue, the Little Bear, and sold it out. It was great, crazy show.
You're playing this weekend too at the Taste of Colorado. I
Yes,
see on
we are.
Sunday you're playing. Yeah,
We are on the
stage?
The Tribute Rock stage, sponsored by 103.5 The Fox.
Oh, so it's all tribute bands?
I believe so, or at least cover bands that are specific to a genre like we are.
Oh, okay. It's about time they did that, because I don't know. I remember maybe I'm high. I don't know, but it seems to me that
What do you mean maybe?
there used to be a time when you couldn't even see cover bands at the Taste of Colorado. It was all original.
Yeah.
And so, cover bands, I'm sorry, but they have their place in this musical world. Damn it.
Well, yes, they do.
Yes, they do. So you want to tell us a little? I think you've got a very impressive resume here.
Yeah, look at it.
And
people.
I'm
I'm holding it up to the microphone now.
Picked out a
if you
few
can see
things
it.
that I wanted to talk about. One of them was that you did a advertisement for, I guess it was First Bank.
Yeah, we did. My friend Jeff Jenkins, who is the keyboard player here in town, fantastic jazz player, and played in Sharlena's band, and he got the gig through some sort of a local ad person, and hired myself and Sharlena to sing on it and play on it. I didn't sing. She sang. I played.
First Bank. Now, isn't that the Colorado Bank for you?
I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
I think we might be hearing something from that sometime later in the program. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
All right.
Nice.
We're
Yeah,
going
that
to be
was
talking
us.
to that lady tonight.
Back in the day.
So how do you go about getting a gig like that? Because I've given it a lot of thought and wondered, how do you get a job where you write jingles?
Well, you have talent buyers in that industry, just like any other industry. So I was just the session guitar player on the project, and I got the gig again through my friend Jeff Jenkins, who I believe was the arranger of that. The jingle exists. It's not something that anybody wrote, or somebody wrote it, but quite some time ago. But the jingle exists, and they like to update it every now and then. And that particular year, they were going for a Dave Matthews vibe, and we just got hired to play on the session. And in that world, you show up, you play, and you get your check, and you go home. And it's very professional and very fast.
It sounds like a nice world.
It is pretty cool. I was very attracted to the studio scene early on, and set that as a goal. My career was to break into the session scene and try to operate at that professional level.
Okay. Speaking of the studio scene, so you've produced, 21 CDs or albums or whatever the era was at that time, but can you tell us a little bit about what went into that? And
Well, it got started with my time. I had worked with Danny Serafin when he lived here, the drummer for Chicago, and he hired me to be music director and guitar player for a country artist that he had signed named Matt McKinney. And so I played with him for quite a few years and made some connections because that was sort of a national level gig. And a lot of it is who you know. So I got to know some people and started to get a reputation as a music director and a leader in that particular environment. And then I made a couple of worship records for a church that I was music director for. And then I made Sharlena Thomas's first record with her, and people simply heard the record. We just said, we're going to make our... Back then, the indie cred was really cool. There was nothing cooler than if you said, we're going to make our own record and put it out, And so we did that. We built the studio and recorded it. And lucky for me, people heard the production on the record, especially the drum sounds and things, and that started my career. People said, I want to hire you to produce my record because I like the sounds you got on that record. And my producing career just kind of took off from there and probably lasted about 10 or 12 years with different custom artists. Basically, people, they've got songs, they've got stuff that they want to record, and they don't necessarily know how to make it sound good, sound professional.
Yeah, the first song that we played, I guess, I did notice the drums. In fact, if I didn't know better, it's almost like you decided the drums were so good that you brought the drums back and faded out with the drums.
That's right. I was pretty proud of that that particular mix.
No, the drums, they sounded fantastic. So, okay, I think this is a good segue into one of your favorite projects you told us you were very proud of, and that was producing an artist by the name of Sharlena Thomas, who we, as a matter of fact, will hear from a little bit later in the show. So why don't you give us a little bit of a history on that?
Well, I did like 5 records with her and wrote a lot of songs with her. I knew a roommate that she had, and her roommate slipped me a tape that she had made herself, recorded down in Texas, in fact, where you guys are from.
Nice.
And gave me it, and I listened to it, and I thought the songs were great. It was just her and her guitar playing. And so then I finagled to meet her and started saying, hey, these songs are great. Let's make a record. And she jumped in, and we did. We made the first record, which was all songs that she had written. And then I started to kind of muscle my way in saying, hey, what do you say we write some songs together? Try to get into that. So we formed a songwriting partnership and wrote about 200 songs over the next 10 years, recorded a bunch of records, and creatively, of all the different things that I've done in my career, that's kind of the high point from a creative standpoint, because I was a part of the writing, I was a part of the producing, playing guitar on them, touring, playing the shows that we played.
All right.
And so I'm probably the most proud of that because creatively it was the biggest batch of stuff that we did.
When you're writing songs with her, do one of you just do the lyrics, the other the music, or is it kind of both?
It was a little bit of both, but there was...
Kind of inspire each other then.
If you had to put percentages on it, I would tend to sit down and just start working out on an acoustic guitar, playing some things. She would start humming and...
Find a melody somewhere.
Right, and it would kind of come together. And we sort of had a songwriting ethic in which we wrote the song that was there that day. We didn't try to control it too much. We would just start to write. And we wrote some stupid songs, too.
Sure.
And it was like, well, that was the song that was there today. Tomorrow we'll move on to the next one. And
or make it a little smarter. I don't know.
Yeah. So it worked really well.
That's great.
I got something queued up here called Feather. Which album is that on? Is that something earlier? Or
No, that is later. That is
Okay.
off her Queen of Seasons record, which was the last studio record that we did.
Very nice. I just randomly picked it, so I think it'll be perfect. If it's one of the later ones that you did. So let's spin that. We'll talk more with Brian Lewis and also hear from Sharlena Thomas here coming up in the next hour. In the meantime, this is something from her and produced by Brian entitled Feather, and you're listening to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Sunrise on mountains, cast your shadows of gray.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted broadcast is property of Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Any rebroadcast or reproduction without express written consent is in violation of federal law and strictly prohibited.
Some assembly required.
Not actual size.
Batteries not included.
Use only as directed.
Void where prohibited.
Actual mileage may vary.
No animals were harmed during the production of this broadcast.
All musicians over 18 years of age do not listen to this program if you have high blood pressure,
heart disease,
diabetes,
thyroid disease,
asthma,
glaucoma,
or difficulty urinating.
May be too intense for some
Parental
viewers.
discretion advised.
Hippies beware.
Welcome back to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. I'm Brian P. along with Jerry Lee. We are broadcasting live from the Kitty Glitter Casino.
Yeah.
And in Black Hawk. Having a good time.
Don't eat the chips.
Do not eat the chips.
No, the fries are not bad.
Chips are worth some money. You don't want to eat them. Hey, guess what it's time for, Jerry Lee?
What time for is it now?
It's time for a Soundcheck Denver music scene concert calendar update with Jerry Lee McGuire.
Yeah, we all knew it was bound to happen anyway. After 7 times around the sun, it's time again for a Soundcheck concert calendar update.
Wait. Let me interrupt you. We didn't go around the sun, dude. not 7 times. Are you telling me it's been 7 years since your last concert up there?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's see here. Friday, September 1st, to be exact. Hey, don't miss the Dead Cats, Diamondite, and Campfire Vendetta at Herman's Hideaway. The Kickback, Beauty School, and Cody Stats rock out at the Lion's Lair. Citizen Dan is at the Walnut Room. Guilty Pleasures indulge at the High Dive, while Ronnie Baker Brooke takes the stage at the Oriental Theater. Dig the 3-piece Retractor Place. Going wild at Ronnie's Pub. Abrams, Glacial Tomb, Night Wraith, and Ken Amia hit the Larimer Lounge, while Wovenhand entertained the masses at the Aggie Theater. Let's see, for September 2nd, grab your peaches and run out into the streets of London Pub for Thought Pilot, Conquer Everest, Wall of the Fallen, and Hate Face. And you don't want to miss Sanity's Edge, farewell show with Killing Creation, When Darkness Falls. The Body Stackers are at the Gothic. Future Heroes is at Larimer Lounge. Talk Perfect and the Cubits rip the Lion's Lair. Plus, Foreign Roots and Friends have some fun at your mom's house. Another concert calendar update coming your way someday.
I don't know how you say all that. There's a lot of tongue twisters in your concert calendar.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a beautiful night, Mile High. You know what, Denver? Everybody says I love you, but I do. The Hendersons now nuzzling up to you on Live 365. The Far Out sound of the Hendersons on Soundcheck. And speaking of far out, you know, Brian, I've had a pretty far out summer so far.
Well, that's good.
With you
That's good to hear.
On the show.
Oh, yeah, I'm loving it. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're back.
Rolling through a stack of great Denver records. You know, I know of a girl named Wednesday, and I dated a girl named Monday, but I never knew a girl named Tomorrow. Rubber Planet for you now on your Wednesday night local music showcase on Soundcheck.
Okay, what circles for hours. Fell asleep in a bed of dead flowers. The manager said if I was late to work again, he'd let me go. But how come the clock is on so fast? Here it's so slow. Tell me about tomorrow, yeah. 'Cause this day sucks. I can't wait for it to end. She sounds so beautiful. I wish she'd come walking in. But tell me about tomorrow again. Okay, what just happened? The middle of crying, I started laughing. I'm always tired after I sleep. I'm always hungry after I eat. If the boss leaves again, let's go downstairs and lock the doors. 'Cause I don't feel like dealing with angry ass customers anymore. Tell me about tomorrow, yeah. 'Cause this day sucks. I can't wait for it to end. She sounds so beautiful. I wish she'd come walking in. But tell me about tomorrow again. And the manager said if I was late to work again, he'd let me go. But how come the clock is on so fast? Here it's so slow. Tell me about tomorrow again. 'Cause this day sucks. I can't wait for it to end. She sounds so beautiful. I wish she'd come walking in. But tell me about tomorrow. Tell me about tomorrow again. 'Cause this day sucks. I can't wait for it to end. She sounds so beautiful. I wish she'd come walking in. But tell me about tomorrow again. And
All right, Rubber Planet with Girl Named Tomorrow. And Jerry Lee, you do know a girl named Tomorrow.
I just figured
Tomorrow,
it out. I don't know her personally, but I've seen her name.
Tomorrow Munoz. Yes, I think that's her name. Hey, you've heard about all the flooding down in Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. Our thoughts go out to them. I'm from there, right? Not from there, but I spent 10 years there. And, so I have a lot of friends down there, and it's just sad to see all the stuff going on down there. You know, they had 50 inches of rain in certain spots.
Jeez.
Yeah, as of noon, I think on the 27th, what was that, Sunday? Yeah, they had 9 trillion gallons of water had already fallen across Houston.
Trillion?
9 trillion. You know how much water 9 trillion gallons is?
I only have 2 hands, Brian, but I could try and count it out.
It's the equivalent of California's winter rain total. It would fill the Great Salt Lake twice. It would fill the Empire State Building 33,906 times.
Blink, blink.
It would cover New Orleans in 128 feet of water.
Blink, blink, blink.
It equals 9 days of the Mississippi River's flow.
Jeez.
And it would cover the lower 48 states, all 48 states, not including Alaska and Hawaii, in 0.17 inches of water. The entire U.S., continental U.S. It's crazy. Anyway, I found a song that's sort of a tribute to Houston. It's from Emilio, and it's called Houston Strut. It just popped into my head earlier today, so I grabbed it, and we're going to play that for the folks down in Houston. Hope y'all are safe and get through this, and hope everything's getting better by now. Looks like it's getting a little bit better, but anyway, this one goes out to you, Houston. It's Emilio, and this is Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
part of your world. No broken doors, booking on shows. We're down in Texas, see how we grow. Dr. Jeff talking Austin, but I really love the Houston strut. Well, you know, you got Texas pride when you show over your inside.
That's Emilio with Houston Strut for our friends down in Houston. Hey, if you're feeling like you want to donate, you can always donate to the American Red Cross or the Salvation Army, feedingtexas.org. It's a statewide network of food banks. And if you want to donate just to pets because people suck, you can always check out the Humane Society. For a full list of places to donate, if you feel so inclined, you can go to charitynavigator.org to help out the victims of Tropical Storm or Hurricane Harvey, whatever it's classified as now. Anyway, we'll be back with more Soundcheck after this message.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go!
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No!
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this!
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
We drink, and we know things. It's what we do. Soundcheck, the Denver music scene on Live 365.
Spinning the sound of Denver for you, the alarming trends for you now with Fabrications on Live 365.
direction someday. Someday maybe I'll believe you. Till that day I want no more of you.
All right, Fabrications by Alarming Trends. Hey, we got one here from our guest this evening who we will be hearing from very soon, Sharlena Thomas. This one's called Just Not Enough, here on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Can we chill together forever next time? 'Cause all night is just not enough. Can we chill together forever next time? 'Cause all night is just not enough. The breaking up is laid to rest. We'll take it as it comes, I guess. The making up is finer with a wine. Oh, and the moonlight is fading. I'm so tired of masquerading like the twilight, mistaken for the dawn. Can we chill together forever next time? 'Cause all night is just not enough. Oh, can we chill together forever next time? 'Cause all night is just not enough. When it comes down to evidence, I'm living proof of circumstance, and time is a no good friend of mine. It's gone. Oh, and I'm dressed down for the pleasing. I want the real thing and not the teasing. You can sit right down and stick around this time. Ooh. I'm fumbling through every precious little thought of you. I ain't wasting no time. I learned my lessons well. Only time will tell. With you, without you, you're mine. Can we chill together forever next time? 'Cause all night is just not enough. Oh, can we chill together forever next time?
Just Not Enough from Sharlena Thomas, tonight's guest. Here on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene, I'm Brian P. I'm here with Jerry Lee, and our in-studio guest is Brian Lewis. We are just having a good old time here at the Kitty Glitter Casino in Blackhawk, Colorado, pulling some slots. Is that what you do, pull slots? I don't know. Pulling slot handles, throwing some dice, spinning some wheels, all that good stuff. But Brian is not partaking, which is cool. Jerry Lee, what's on your mind?
Well, just a reminder, the Taste of Colorado 2017 has 4 big days. Regional and national acts taking the stages at the Civic Center Park downtown this weekend, September 1st through the 4th. Just some of the acts for Friday are Public Safety, Ladies of the 80s, Carolina Rain, Cody Jeffries, Eric Lane, Kit Bennett, Random Temple, and many, many more. On Saturday, it's The Strange Parade, Shotgun Lullaby, Johnny Day, Rubik's, Chris King Band, Delta Sonics, Cup of Joe, Bad Candy, Tyler Stanfield, and many, many more. For Sunday, check out the Hash Tones, Mr. Majestic's 8-track revival, Swerve, the Arena Rock All-Stars, Dreamboat Annie, Five for Fighting, Little Car, and many, many more. Then on Monday, just some of the acts are the legendary Hitchhikers, 38 Special, Message in a Bottle,
38 Special, really?
Ben Marshall, Tyler Walker Band, Automatic Iris, and guess what, Brian?
38 Special?
Many, many more. That's the Taste of Colorado 2017, September 1st through 4th, Civic Center Park. See you there.
I heard 38 Special, and it's the only band I recognize, other than the All-Star Rockstar, All-Star Rock, Arena Rock All-Stars. Yeah. That's the name.
That's it. Get your butt down there.
You know, I would, but I'm going to be out of town this weekend. But I'm going to come out and see you guys very soon. Hey, what episode is this?
Why, it is episode 15.
15, you say?
15. Is it going to work today?
15 is the natural number following 14 and preceding 16. 15 is the smallest natural number with 7 letters in its spelled name. 15 is designated as an emergency number in Pakistan. 15 is the number of days in each of the 24 cycles of the Chinese calendar. 15 is the number of guns in a gun salute to Army, Marine Corps, and Air Force Lieutenant Generals, and Navy and Coast Guard Vice Admirals. 15 is the age a minor can be sent to prison to await trial in the UK. 15 is the number of balls in the 8-ball variant of billiards. 15 is the number of minutes in 1/4 of an hour. 15 minutes past or before an hour is often known as quarter past and quarter to, respectively. 15 is the episode of tonight's fine program, Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Now that's using your Brian.
You get. All right, we'll be right back.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this. You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now, hour 2 of Soundcheck, the Denver music scene on Live 365. And welcome back to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. I'm Brian P. And ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Lee.
Hey, don't touch that dial. Go ahead. It's broken anyway. Time now for another very popular Soundcheck concert calendar update. This update brought to you by Jim Shady's Discount Meat Emporium, West 6th Place, and the James Dean Viaduct in the same location for over 39 hours now. That's Jim Shady's Discount Meat Emporium. Dig more happenings you're telling us about for Friday, September 1st. Friday kicks off 4 big days of local and national acts at the Civic Center, like I probably just told you about, at the Taste of Colorado. The Funk Hunters and D-Funk are at the Gothic Theater. Pinback and Minus the Bear take the Summit Music Hall. Brad Henning's Giant Zero will be at Brick on the York. Have you ever seen the Giant Zero, Brad?
Not to my knowledge.
It is giant. It's the biggest zero I've ever seen. And also Tap Your Foot to Mad Pal, Amalgam Effect, and Dichotomy at Moe's Barbecue in Englewood. I wrote that out phonetically, and I hope I'm saying it right. Let's all say it together. Dichotomy. Dichotomy?
Dichotomy.
Dichotomy? You know what? The Wendy Clark Band will be at Cheers this Friday night.
Yay,
as well.
a Soundcheck guest. Woohoo.
Yeah. Hey, more shows for Saturday, September 2nd include One from None, City of the Week, Scarlet Canary, and Evermore at Herman's. The guest list, album release party with The Eye and the Arrow, and Jess Parsons, Shake Up the High Dive. Soul Rebels are at Cervantes. Eddie Turner and Trouble rock the patio out there at the Platte River Grill. And Brian, I know you're going to want to pack up the family and head out to the Thunder Mountain Amphitheater for the Texas Hippie Coalition.
Oh, heck yeah.
You send them, I say them, soundcheckden at gmail.com. Next concert calendar update, a mere 14 socks away. Yes. Now, coming up in this second hour, there's more from the Bryans. A little dip into the retro record box coming up. And, of course, we're going to discuss more on why the cucumber has more friends than anybody else. But first, kicking off another sweep of great Denver music, it's Jux County Now. It's Jux County Now on the Mighty Live 365.
Even when they
Jocks County there with Be There on Soundcheck. And now, the ever cynicalistical Brian P. with this date in music history, 1949.
Hank Williams went into Herzog Studios in Cincinnati to record I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Williams wrote the song originally intending that the words would be spoken rather than sung.
69.
One-hit wonders Zager and Evans started a 3-week run at number 1 on the UK singles chart with In the Year 2525.
Was that an echo? 1975.
Rod Stewart had his 5th UK number 1 album when Atlantic Crossing started a 5-week run at the top of the charts.
86.
Steve Winwood went to number 1 on the US singles chart with Higher Love, a number 13 hit in the UK.
1995.
Carly Simon and James Taylor performed live together in front of 10,000 fans on Martha's Vineyards, Massachusetts. It was the first time they appeared live on the same stage since 1979.
2004.
Winners at the 2004 MTV Music Awards included Usher for Best Male Video for Yeah. Best Video went to Outkast for Hey Ya. Best Group Video...
You're making this up.
I am not. Best Group Video, No Doubt, for It's My Life. And Best Rock Video went to Jet for Are You Gonna Be My Hoe? Girl.
16.
The 2017 edition of Guinness World Records said that Ringo Starr's copy of the Beatles' White Album was officially the most expensive LP ever sold at auction. Guinness confirmed that a December 2015 sale at Julian's Auction House set a new high for album prices when the first edition copy with the catalog number 000001, which was kept in a vault in perfect condition by Starr for more than 35 years, sold for $790,000. So that's it for your On This Day in Music, August 30th. I'm Brian P.
Well, here's another one out of the Soundcheck arsenal of local bands. Get ready for Barstool Messiah with the Son of Sam. Better Stay Inside on Live 365. Barstool Messiah rocking the airwaves on Soundcheck. Hey, don't miss Sounds on 29th this Saturday at 9 p.m. on Colorado Public Television Channel 12. This week, September 2nd, it's comedian D. Kelly, then dance to the groove of Emma Mays and The Hip on Sounds on 29th, Saturday at 9 p.m. on Colorado Public Television Channel 12. All right, all cocked and loaded and ready for takeoff. Here's Nikki Stiff with a heart full of soul on Live 365.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jackie the Burger Boy, and to make my bleak existence slaving over a hot grill more bearable, I listen to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Welcome back to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. I'm Brian P. along with Jerry Lee, and also Brian Lewis is here in the studio with us. And we now have on the phone Sharlena Thomas. Sharlena, are you there?
I am. Good evening.
Hello, how are you doing?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks.
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
We're doing great. Thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it. So we've been
absolutely.
We've been enjoying some of your lovely music this evening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all cracked me up with that first Bank commercial. I really thought that was in a vault and would never be heard of again, and that is so funny.
I think it was. I think it wasn't a vault, but it was in Brian's vault, and he cracked it and brought it on out.
I have the keys.
Blast from the past.
He does. So where are you? Where are you living currently?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's 10:15 here, so it's a little ahead of you guys, but all is well.
Okay. What brought you there away from Colorado?
Yeah, all of my family's here, or were here at the time, and so I just relocated to be closer to my family. I'm from Grays Creek, North Carolina, which is a small rural community just kind of southeastern North Carolina.
Okay.
So, yeah, I relocated back to Asheville. Love it.
All right.
Miss Colorado, Miss Brian for sure.
Oh yeah. So tell us a little bit about your time while you were out here, and what you did musically, and maybe what brought you out here to begin with. And just a little bit of a history, if you would.
Sure. Let's see, I think I moved out to Denver, I think it was like 1992, 1993, and went to graduate school. And as Brian already said, I met him through a friend of mine, a roommate. And after that, I just worked in Denver for a while. I worked in the mental health field, substance use recovery field, and was kind of slinging mud after graduate school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and so I worked at a coffee shop for a while, and it gave me an opportunity to write and play some music. So I got hooked up with Brian, and we kind of just went on this little train that didn't stop for a while. We were writing song after song after song, and got to play in some really cool places in state, certainly right around Denver, and also some cool places regionally. So and then I relocated back to North Carolina to be closer to my family in around like 2004, I think.
Okay. Are you currently doing anything musically?
Playing just really on my own. Sometimes I'll play some pickup. Asheville is a very organic music scene, Appalachian kind of style music.
Okay.
Flat top guitars, banjos.
So bluegrass
certainly
kind
some
of?
fiddles. Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of bluegrass is here. And so it's just kind of a very organic scene. Excellent vibe for music. So I'll play a little bit of pickup stuff and writing stuff still, but not really playing out certainly like what Brian and I were doing back in the 90s.
Yeah, just different scene, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some good stories from those times, though.
Oh, I bet. That's what we were hoping to hear, actually.
Yeah. So we played a club down called Soapy Smith's down at 14th and Lawrence one time, and the sound man came up and introduced himself and said, "Hey, my name's Fogger."
Fogger.
And so we got a little worried right off the bat, and I'll let Sharlena take the story from there.
Tell us.
Yeah, it got a little weird. He was running this just goes to say to all the sound guys out there, like, you're worth your weight in gold. If you know your stuff, you're just amazing at what you do. This guy was running the bass through the vocal monitor and putting reverb on it. And it was
jeez.
So it was like I was swimming in Kerwin Brown's bass. I'll never forget that. And he was just, the bass player was mad, the band was upset. I was just trying to keep the peace and keep the cool. And, I was like, hey man, can you maybe kind of tone down that reverb and the monitors just a little bit? And he's like, no man, I got some really cool effects on your voice. But it wasn't my voice, it was the bass. So it was ridiculous.
Nasty.
But anyway, to all you sound guys out there, you're fabulous, so thanks.
Right. Worth their weight in gold, but unless they're no
Worth
good,
their weight in gold.
then we won't go into that description.
That's for sure. Another time at anyone who's played Herman's Hideaway knows that the mains sit a little low if you're on the stage. And also anyone who's played there knows that if you're not the last band, you got to get off in a hurry when you're done. And so we had played a show there one night, and I had to get off the stage in a hurry, stage right, and I spun around and put my head right into the main that was hanging there and completely knocked myself out because I don't remember getting my gear off stage. I woke up, so to speak, 15 minutes later, sitting by the door with everybody around me going, "You okay?" And I was like, whew. So that was another great moment. We had a couple of good Spinal Tap moments, too, where we have had our gig at an Air Force base. And we got called by a promoter one time to play a show, and the promoter said, "There's 10,000 are going to be in attendance." Oh, my gosh, we were so excited. And turned out to be at Lowry Air Force Base in one of their big hangars, and it was a craft show, a country craft show.
What?
Not 10,000 in, and you just like, if you're a drummer, you just touch the snare drum and it sounded like a cannon in that place. We were thought, oh gosh, this is going to. So we were
kettle corn, quilts, yarning, you name it. It was all there.
So yeah,
and they asked us to turn it. They asked us to turn the volume down.
So they meant 10,000 yards of yarn, not 10,000 people.
Yeah, so we've had our Spinal Tap Air Force Base gig.
Fun.
We also had just a great deal of characters that came through the band. You know, we had the bass player who showed up and locked his keys in the car with his gear before the gig. You know, so they're trying to break into the car to get the gear out. Yeah, and we had the drummer who will remain nameless, who would call the day of a show and cancel because his grandmother just died. But after the 10th grandmother, you know, he would lose track how many grandmothers he had. We were sort of like, I think we're going to have to change drummers. This guy's got grandmothers dying left and right.
Dude, you only get 17 of them. So.
That's right. So they were fun times.
I try to always avoid that excuse for work because I know I'll forget and my grandma will die again, and that's just not good.
Good times.
Hey, so I've got something here from your friend and producer and co-writer and co-band member Brian saying that it seems like the Denver music media seemed to miss the boat on your project, and I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that. Do you have I mean, I know you don't know what's going on here now, but what can you tell us about what it was like back then, as far as what it should have been like, and what you think it's probably like today, if anything at all? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it's kind of a pretty deep question, I guess. But
well, you know,
and it's a great question, and I really appreciate it. I'm not really that much in tune with the Denver music scene anymore, other than the Arena Rock All Stars.
Oh yeah, great band.
Great band. I follow them, and I hear they're playing Chase to Colorado. So go on out and see those guys. They're amazing. You know, they do need a little. I told Brian he needed a little Pat Benatar in the routine somewhere.
Oh, sure,
so maybe
sure.
we can make that happen one day. But
and you'll come out and sing it, right?
If we're going to do maybe one day, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great. But when we were playing, Miss the Boat, I think it had a lot to do with where everybody was at the time. It just seems like we couldn't really break in anywhere. We played some amazing music venues in the 90s. Certainly Brian's mentioned Herman's, but Herman's Hideaway. But, we played just everywhere, and we were working pretty hard. We were playing most Friday and Saturday nights at different clubs all around Denver. Played with amazing guys. I mean, these are some of the best musicians that not only I've played with, but certainly I've ever even heard. Jeff Jenkins on piano. You had we played with several bass players. Kerwin Brown. I think Curtis Crabb sat in a couple of times. Jeff Fournier certainly played with us a bit. So it's not that we didn't have the lack of talent. And then the drummers, we had, certainly Steve Ivey and Mike Marlier and Brian Mikulich. I mean, again, we just had some of the best musicians and talent around. We were playing original stuff, and it was so eclectic. It was blues, it was ballads, it was rock, it was, heck, we even had a country blues tune, I think, and so we didn't really have, just one thing that we did. We kind of did it all, okay. And we were good at it all. So I don't really know what that was about, because we certainly worked, and we worked hard.
Yeah, I wonder if perhaps some of it was that you weren't more genre specific. I mean, I've seen that happen. You just play a little bit too much variety. I mean, just a guess, just a hunch. I don't know.
Well, I think we ran into.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. I think we ran into some issues just with the local scene in terms of the press. It was frustrating on my end as someone who was always trying to promote the band to try to get the press to pay attention, because I felt really good about the material. I thought it was incredible, and we would send it off just to the local media, and they just completely ignored us.
No, that's crazy.
So I always thought that Sharlena was one of the although we were playing a lot, she was one of those that kind of slipped under the radar in terms of really being a top band where the musicians were unbelievable. The songs were great.
Yeah.
And, you know, I certainly don't want to come across as someone who sounds bitter. I'm really, really proud of the work that we did and had a great time doing it. But I think any artist eventually kind of feels like, gosh, I wish it would have reached a bigger audience.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and from what we're hearing here tonight, and you know, looking at the players that you've had and all that, yeah, it is kind of surprising to me that, you know, it didn't turn out a little bit better or bigger than you had hoped or anticipated.
We had a good 10-year run, and that's pretty good on any local music scene.
Yeah, that says something. All right, well, Sharlena, we're gonna play another one of your songs here. How about "Tearing the Day"? Can you tell us a little bit about that one? Either one of you.
Yeah, it's a cool song. You know, when Sharlena first wrote it, she had this cool riff, and Jerry Lee will appreciate this being a drummer. She wrote it, and then when I went to chart it out for the band so we could record it, there were these weird time things in it, and I had to really sit and count, and it turned out that she had written alternating measures of 9/8 and 11/8. 9/8 and 11/8. And it makes it one of my favorite tunes because that's not something that you see too much in tunes, and yet it sounds really beautiful and flowing. And I don't even know if she knew that it was in that particular time signature.
Oh, trust me, I did not know that. I can barely count.
Well, you know now, and we're about to hear it. But hey, Sharlena, I just want to say thanks again for calling in. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, absolutely. All the best to you guys.
Yeah, and best of luck to you down there. If you ever get back, let us know, and we'll hook you up with I don't know, maybe Arena Rock All Stars, and they could probably use somebody to sing some Guns N' Roses because that's really tough for a male. So, just for starters.
I would love it. I hope to be down there in the spring. So that would be great.
Very nice. All right. Once again, Sharlena Thomas, and we're going to be hearing some more of her stuff throughout the show. First up is Tearing the Day, and you're listening to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Prayer for an angel, I don't know why. Right here
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted broadcast is property of Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Any rebroadcast or reproduction without express written consent is in violation of federal law and strictly prohibited.
Some assembly required.
Not actual size.
Batteries not included.
Use only as directed.
Void where prohibited.
Actual mileage may vary.
No animals were harmed during the production of this broadcast.
All musicians over 18 years of age do not listen to this program if you have high blood pressure,
heart disease,
diabetes,
thyroid disease,
asthma,
glaucoma,
or difficulty urinating.
May be too intense for some viewers.
Parental discretion advised.
Hippies beware.
Welcome back to Soundcheck. I'm Brian P. along with Jerry Lee. We're broadcasting live from the Kitty Glitter Casino in Black Hawk, Colorado. We have Brian Lewis in studio, and we just heard from the lovely Sharlena Thomas, and we've been listening to some of her music throughout the show. And I believe we have at least one more from her coming up in the next half hour. But in the meantime, spinning the wax from Denver's past. Here's Jerry Lee Maguire with the Retro Record Box.
Well, look what's back this week. It's the groovy Retro Record Box. Brought to you by, of course, the Retro Denver Metro Facebook page. Dig hundreds and hundreds of cool Denver memories on the Retro Denver Metro Facebook page. I love playing this stuff no one else will, and this one's no exception. When this one came out, some considered it not too PC. And it was left off the band's compilation disc. I just think it's a great little forgotten rocker. You decide. Tune in question, The Damn Shambles with chrome trim on the Retro.
Chrome trim was a Chinese girl. She could hold the ocean in her hand. She could float around you like the world. Come up cool and slow like falling land. She could take all night, she find the words. She could take all night, she learn the chords. She could take all night, she find the words. Holding you all night, you got bored. She would keep it all up in her head, like a Dalai Lama's voting score. She could sell them balloons, blue and red. She could keep them coming back for more. She could take all night, she find the words. She could take all night, she learn the chords. She could take all night, she find the words. Holding you all night, you got bored. Chrome trim was a Chinese girl. Chrome trim was a Chinese girl. Chrome trim was a Chinese girl. Chrome trim was a Chinese girl.
'94 was the year of that rare record by the Damn Shambles, long out of print. Hey, let's jump back now to the early 80-somethings, where I'm going to pull one off from the out of print album Girl with Six Fingers LP. Here's the Blitz Girls with Ticket for the Sky. For you, Monique, only on the Retro.
that's so unequal in my mind. I guess love's on her side, and I must have been blind. Oh, but for a while I thought we could fly. I got a ticket in my hand for the sky. It's raining on the field. Man wants to close the gate. I was hoping you might show up late with a magazine for me, or maybe just a sad goodbye. Say, help me take the edge off this night. For the sky, I'll be leaving alone. I'll be shooting high on the field of view. For the sky, I'll be leaving alone. I'll be shooting high on the field of view. That could be. Stepping on the blade, I feel the air rushing around. Now I hear the passengers sound, and I look into their eyes like a small, directionless child. And I wonder why. I search their eyes for more, for the sky. I'll be leaving alone. I'll be sitting high on the memory of you. For the sky, I'll be leaving alone. I'll be sitting high on the memory of you. That could have been. Hey, no love, just a flight. Let's dance on a magic night. But what does it mean when you can't stop circling? And you know that you'll never come down. Never come down. Never come down. Bye bye, baby. Never come down. Bye bye, baby. Never come down. Bye bye, baby.
Blitz Girls rounding out a couple retro spins out of the old retro record box on Soundcheck. More of those later, Gator. Hey, let's hit this stack of Denver sound you've been sending in. Get your yardsticks ready for 1 inch tall with Last Call on the Rockin' Live 365.
I'm trying to hop for something that's better. Still always fall down on me. I always drag you down under the weather. So close, so close. While we're still friends, it just happens. Guess nothing ends. Your innocence. Now things go on for worse or for better. Now there's none left to say. But down on which stage we're just so together. Instead of coming undone on me. While we're still friends, it just happens. Guess nothing ends. Your innocence.
right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead. Some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Oh, baby, got my shirt off and my belt buckle loose, and I'm ready to rock and roll. You're listening to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene, on Live 365, baby. All right, welcome back to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. This is Jerry Lee here with all the Brians. I got White Brian and Wheat Brian and Raisin Brian here. But right now, here with a kisser and a hugger, it's Brian B. with Never Judge a Band by Its Color.
Thank you, Jerry Lee. And that's Always Judge a Band by Its Cover. This week, they're a high-energy band consisting of some of Denver's top nightclub and showroom performers. Drawing upon the unique flexibility of its 5 members, this group boasts the ability to provide an outstanding night of entertainment for literally every musical taste. It's Dan, JB, Tim, Gary, and Jeff. It's Fat Daddy.
And it is always judge a band by its cover, not never judge a band by its cover.
Either way.
Cecilia.
I think it depends on the venue. Sometimes you just don't want to do that. So never judge a band by its cover could be the case. But tonight it's always judge a band by a cover.
Gotcha.
And it's Fat Daddy, and here is their demo on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene.
Fat Daddy, Denver's premier R&B dance band, has a fresh look.
I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Too high to get over.
With new faces, new sounds.
I'm bringing sexy back.
And new tunes.
Walk this way, talk this way, just give me a kiss.
Come see what the buzz is all about.
This life ain't good enough. I can give my world to lift you up. I can change my life to better suit your mood. Because you're so smooth.
With a diversified song list, Fat Daddy is unparalleled when it comes to the ability to cater to any generation.
House to have a girl like her.
Or any event. They've got old school R&B.
Tell you it was just my imagination running away with me. So, how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
Pop and hip-hop.
All right, that's Fat Daddy. That's their demo. You can find more information on Fat Daddy at fatdaddy.biz, and that's P-H-A-T, not F-A-T, fatdaddy.biz, or you can find them on Facebook at Fat Daddy Band. They're playing Friday and Saturday this weekend, September 1st and 2nd, at Hofbrau, Colorado, 9110 Wadsworth Boulevard in Westminster. Again, that's Fat Daddy at fatdaddy.biz. soundcheck.biz. Now I've got one from a friend and broadcast engineer, singer-songwriter, Gregory Benson. Something a little more current from him. This one's called Leave Your Windows Down. And you're listening to Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. That's right. Just leave your windows down. It's Gregory Benson here on Soundcheck, the Denver music scene. We have Brian Lewis with us, and Brian, I think we have time for one more Sharlena Thomas song before the show comes to a conclusion on this fine night. But I was hoping you had time for maybe one more Spinal Tap type story for us.
Well, yeah, gosh. There was a club on South Broadway at Hamden that will remain nameless. It was one of those clubs when you loaded in at 4 in the afternoon, all the patrons there were already drunk. And when you loaded out at 2 in the morning, the same patrons were still there. And they wanted to help you with their gear, which was not good.
Were they still drunk?
Drunker, I think, would be the...
Gotcha.
And the stage was at the same level as the dance floor and bumped right up against it. So we were playing the gig, and Sharlena had a boom stand mic. And one lady started to dance precariously close to the other end of the boom stand mic, and pretty soon was just grinding on it. And Char was trying to hang on to the mic stand while she continued to sing the song, and this woman just kept going to town, backing into it. And so that was an interesting moment.
And do you by chance have video of this event?
You know, that was in the era before cell phones, so most of those things are lost to history.
Might be a good thing, actually.
You have to be a good storyteller.
No, it was good. It was good. Yeah, and you did a fine job.
Thanks.
Hey, and I think we're gonna close the show out with her song coming up here. So we wanted to thank you again for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure having you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, and thank you to Sharlena Thomas for calling in and chatting with us. And we've enjoyed her music this evening. Hey, be sure to like us on Facebook. It's Soundcheck Den, and you can find that on Facebook. And then from there, you'll find some links to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe so we can get the word out for these fine Denver musicians that are coming on the show and entertaining you with their stuff. And Jerry Lee and I would just be happy if you did that. Hey, next week we have Josh Blackburn. Don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's going to be pretty entertaining. So you want to stick in next week. Jerry Lee, you got anything to add before we head out of here?
I'm still trying to wrap my Brian around it.
You've been trying that all night. All right. We got one more from Sharlena Thomas. This one's called High Life. And thanks again to Brian Lewis and Sharlena Thomas. We will talk to you next week. Same time, same web browser.
Yay!
Soundcheck the Denver music scene.
You don't want to plug anything right now?
I really don't have anything to
Nothing
plug.
big is happening this weekend? Okay, play the song.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.